And today I'm going to be looking at a very small radio. This is a SONY SRF-M35 from about 2001. It's actually got no output. Now, being so small, we know the inside is going to be very small, which is convenient because the kind people at Andonstar have sent me a gift. And they've sent me one of their new microscopes. It's got a 7-inch screen and quite a good magnification. I'm going to use it to shoot the rest of this video. And this is the AD246SM model with the HDMI output. Let's see what you get in the box. In the top of the box there's a user manual, and we've also got a handy step-by-step guide to how to assemble it. Well, it's nicely packaged. Presumably this is the main screen. Oh yes, all wrapped up. There's the camera. Okay. Oh, nice cable. Some sort of controls on there we'll have a look at in a moment. Got a remote control. I think these are different lenses for it. That's a nice touch. Not sure, some sort of specimen or cat. I'm not sure what that is. Oh yeah, some things to look at. Just a little practice. 32 gig SD card. Another USB power cable. Some spare parts. Not sure what they're for yet. I think that's for holding the lens in, maybe. And this is a backlight for looking at sort of biological samples. There's more cables hiding in here. This is a HDMI lead. Now we can lift that out. We've got the main mechanism here. Nice. And finally, the base itself. Oh, I've missed a piece. The pole. What's not in the box is a power supply, so you're going to have to find one. Fortunately, it's just a USB 5V supply. They recommend 2 amps, but we'll have a look if it needs that. This looks easier to assemble than some IKEA furniture. So, we'll just screw this in. Now, it has 2 tapped holes for adding these clamps and springs on there. These are for holding sort of biological samples. I'll be honest, they'll be in the way for electronics, so I'm not going to fit those. This beautifully machined beam just slides on top. This thumb screw here just tightens that up, stops it moving. Now we see what the spare parts are for, and in case you lose these screws. I wouldn't have thought you'd do that. This is the screen and camera module. At first I thought these sockets are really badly located underneath there, but no, it goes that way. All makes sense now. And this goes through there, but you do have to take the lens off and take these screws out first, for obvious reasons. You can actually see the image sensor there. That thing I reckon is about 4x6mm. That's a UHD resolution, 2160 pixels high. Incredible. That just pops in there. Ah, secures. It actually fits quite snugly. Let's do the screws up there. Just pinch them up gently. And these are the extra lenses it comes with. Also nicely packaged. This is their L lens, which is the one we want to use for electronics. It says it's got an object distance between 90 and 300mm. That's really good. We've also got this one, which is a D, which is for very close-up stuff. In fact, extremely. 45mm clearance you'll have. There's no way you're going to rework with that magnification. I do wonder though if the lighting's good enough to do a good job of that. And the lens is very easily fitted. It's got these 2 little sort of dogs there. They just engage inside very easily, and you just put these screws in. Now, I'll be honest, in their spare parts kit, I recommend they put these in. These are far more likely to get lost. You'll change the lens more often than you change the camera, I'm very sure of that. But if you do lose them, it's just an M3 screw. Nothing too hard to find. Another nice touch, the screen actually tilts, so you can angle it to suit your eyes, and also you can get to these sockets very easily. Pop the little SD card in there. And you've got this right angled power connector. It's quite good. Actually, this cable's quite good. This has got the light controls and it's dimmable. That's a good point. I think it's 8 levels it's got. And the power for this just goes in the bottom of the base. It's pretty tidy. And the power cable's surprisingly long. 1.8 metres or 6 foot. And the HDMI cable looks to be decent quality, and that's 1.5 metres long. This is pretty good. I'm going to power this off the bench power supply so we can see how much power it needs. I'm just going to set this up to the top of the pole here, just to see if we can get the best field of view and the best working distance. Let's give it something to look at. Let's adjust the focus ring. Oh, look at that. That's pretty sharp. I cannot moan at that. Yeah, you can see everything. It's well lit. In fact, the lighting's very good. We'll see how it works in the real world, but even like these chip markings, you can see those dead clearly. And there's loads of room here. That's actually nearly 23 centimetres. That's plenty. Presumably you can get to the 300mm if you just clamp it around here instead. And the field of view at this height is 22mm. It's quite tight. If we look if we can max that out, I have to take the lens off, I'm afraid. That's 2 thumb screws. Slacken these off. Lift the screen out. Pop the lens back. There we have the full 30 centimetres of working height. And now the field of view is 32mm. It's better. This is actually quite a nice setup. You've got a good bit of clearance there. The screen's just at eye level. I'm really impressed. You've got the LED dimmer control. There's 8 levels. Yeah, it's pulling a good amp of current there. Yeah, you probably want a 2 amp power supply for this. That'll probably take out a 1 amp one. Let's not forget the remote control. Those are functions on there. There's a menu for setting all sorts of things. Well, you'd have to point it at it, mind you. Schoolboy error. You can change things like the resolution. I've got this set to Full HD 30Hz because that's more suitable for YouTube and will use less memory on the card. Loads of settings here. I really don't think you need to mess with these, to be honest. This is looking pretty good out of the box. And if you want to use this for video production or something, it's got modes in video mode now. To start recording, just press OK. Now we are live. Wave my finger over it just to prove the point. Stop that. Then we've got that still photo mode. You press the button to take a photograph. That's easy enough. And we can review them. All simple to use. If you like the look of these, Andonstar is selling these in the UK for £200. You'll find a link to their website on the video description below. So back to repair, we should put some batteries in this. A pair of AAA batteries. Let's connect something to the output. Let's turn it on. Well, it beeped. That was something. Any stations out there? I'm trying to think of a good station. That's up full. The sensitivity is on DX, which is long distance, so the most sensitive should be finding something. Though this is on AM now. Yeah, there's nothing coming out of this. There should be something. Well, I'm going to have to open this up and I need the oscilloscope, and we know how long that takes to boot up. I've got the headphone outputs in channels 1 and 2, and I've got a spare probe on channel 4, so I need 2 and 4 on. So now we can see what's coming out of the earphone socket. And oh wow, that's a hell of a thump on there. See if we can capture that. This isn't the nicest output. We got the lack of audio here. When you press the button, I think it changes channel to this mute thing here, but that's like -1 volts in your earphones. Then there's a little chirp there. It shoots back up to positive 1.5, so that's like 2.5 volts. That's a massive sort of a load of grief. No wonder it thumps. Let's get this thing open. Have to get the batteries out of the way. Well, the top came off quite easily. There's not much to see here. These are the contacts for the keypad. Does it come out? I think we just have to sort of rattle it loose. Come on. Oh, I see the battery contacts are on here. How do I get this out? Oh, there we go. Well, the aerial ferrite has fell out. I don't think that's a problem, but you don't know. I hope none of these wires are broken, because that could cause some tuning trouble. Just going to power it up on some crocodile clips off the power supply. Chuck the rubber keypad back on. Let's lay this down in front of the microscope. Let's turn it on. Well, the radio is split over two circuit boards. Makes a lot of sense. You've got the keypad section, which for all the controls and the display. I think there's a driver and control chip sort of probably behind the display, I would guess, because I can't see it anywhere else. And this half is the radio tuner and amplifier section. Pretty natty. Only two chips on here. Well, just having a sort of mooch around this board, looking for broken connections, I reckon. The soldering all looks pretty good. There we are. Oh look, 87.5 FM. I don't think anyone broadcasts on that, but I'll have to do something about that. Ribbon connectors, I'd just say they're a favourite, but I can't see anything wrong with the ribbon cable. Those connections look really good. Let's see the other board. Some very nice fine wires there. I have to say, they look great on this microscope. Well, nothing looks broken. This is the main tuner chip. This is a Sony SRF-M35 FM. Could be faulty. If it is, we might be in trouble, because there'd be somewhat bespoke to this. And at the top is a 4533 op amp. I say op amp, it's not an op amp. It's a headphone amplifier chip. It's got 10 legs. Yeah, I don't see anything visually broken on here. The headphone socket looks fine to me. I originally thought it'd be a broken connection here, but as we heard the beep, it's clearly not broken. I need to transmit a test signal on 87.5 megahertz. 87.5. We need a bit of modulation, more than that, to make it quite loud so I can see a good signal. Something like that. And on. Now I've got a virtual radio station, I don't have to faff around tuning it in. Just looking at the circuit around the RF decoder chip, we can see the audio comes out of pins 5 and 6. Then they go off through these capacitors into these potentiometers. These are actually the volume knob. And from the volume control straight into the headphone amplifier. So we've got 4 suspect items. Could be the chip itself, could be these capacitors, could be faulty potentiometer, you never know, or the headphone amp. So here's the RF decoder chip again. We start from this corner here. We count pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pin 5 we should have, or might have, a signal. And we do. Bit of a fuzzy sine wave, but it's there. What about pin 6? Yes. So the RF signal I'm outputting is working and it's coming out of the chip. This is great news. So the next place it went on the schematics is through some capacitors. So here it is again. Yeah, signal's there. Comes out the other side, still there. Okay. And then it goes to the potentiometer. And we've got signal here. Following the trail, where does it stop? Have we got on this on? This is for the other channel. It's on both channels, so the potentiometer is getting it. So the output, I think, well, output. Yes, these pins must be the output, because this is ground. Yeah, definitely. That's ground. It's also fuzzy. I think it's fuzzy because of all the sorts of weird wiring I've got going on. Okay, so he goes to this resistor here. We got no signal at all. Back here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There's nothing going to this chip. I just thought a little test. I could put my finger on these pins and oh, I'm getting mains hum. Yes. I think the amplifier chip's actually fine. Now before I break this antenna off, I'm going to glue this back down because it's clearly okay. Work out which way around it went. I think it was like that. I think there's guidance. Oh, there's a line there. Yes, must be like that. What I'm just going to do is pop a bit of glue in there. The pins for the pot are here, so this is the ground connections, dual gang 10k pots according to the book, so we should have 10k here, and we haven't. Oh wow, That's terrible. Mega ohms. This is the other one. Not quite so bad, but it's still pretty bad. And this side, the wipers, 32k. Yeah, that's weird. That reminds me of the sort of reading you get across a semiconductor. So I think this pot's knackered. I think, I know it's knackered. This is the offending article here. This is just a thumb wheel, a very low profile potentiometer. It feels fine by hand, but yeah, we know electrically there's problems. I think it might be corroded or something. Somehow I need to get this plastic wheel off there. This reminds me of that Walkman I did before. The other side of it, let's see. Oh crikey. Yeah, there's a chip in the way. I don't have a contingency to pass something through there if I break it. Yeah, I'm going to have to fetch it off. Fiddly little board. Just desolder these one at a time. Oh, the recoil off the desoldering gun made it jump then. Oh, 2 in 1. And there. And the ground pin. Oh. That is a thing using the microscope. You can lose coordination. Pins at the top here are to hold it to the board. Oh. Well, that looks like it's come off quite cleanly. Yes. So there we have the pot. Very slim, 10k as it said. This looks a very translucent PCB actually, so I think the tracks will be on the top, but I can't see any actual breaks. I don't think so. Let's get the meter on that again. Can't remember which was which, so I think this was ground. There we got nothing, 0 ohms. 0 again, wow. It's absolutely disconnected. I wonder if the wipers have completely gone on this. Oh well. I think I just need to drill that off. I'm going to do the 1/2mm drill this time. Do it by hand. There we go. That should come apart now and reveal all. This is the underside of the pot and this is the wipers. They're all there, but they are rather grubby. But they're cleaning up nicely. Actually, they're cleaning up very well. Anyway, attention must turn to this. The tracks are all intact by the looks of it. This end is the common ground. You can see this pin there, it's connected to both tracks, so the left track and the right track go around independently, and they're connected to these wipers in the middle. Oh! What is unusual, this green. I'll be honest, I've not seen green before, but it could be like some sort of mask layer. Sometimes they do that if you've got multi-layers. But let's hold that down there. There's 1 meter lead on there, onto the track, and we got nothing. What about there? Yes, oh, that's perfect. Oh! Oh, look at that. So from here to there, 11k, yeah? That's about right. What about this one? Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to clean it. Oh, I see. I've just lowered the microscope for some better magnification, and you can really see how scored it is. And I think it's actually the edge of the plastic wheel that's just worn through it. So my plan is I'm actually going to scrape off some of this green mask. I think it's like a solder mask. I need to be very careful I don't scrape off the potentiometer's carbon track though. Actually, that's a bit too dodgy. This This isn't good. I'll scratch it with a screwdriver. My plan is to repair this with some silver conductive paint. Just literally paint it over the crack. And hopefully that'll work. And then I'll need to find a way of protecting it and stopping it getting all scratched off again. Now it's dried off, it's going to separate the shorts, which I may have accidentally put in. They don't take much separating though. Just scratch it off. I think it comes off that easily, that's a concern. I need to protect this stuff because it's pretty fragile. Just going to do the test now with the multimeter. Just check each pin's got continuity. Onto the carbon track. Yep, that's good. I'll put it on continuity mode so I can hear it. Perfect. No short there. Good. Yep. No shorts there. There to here. Oh. That's not good. Oh. That's worked there. Oh. We've got 14 ohms. That's not bad. It's good enough. For a 10k pot, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. No shorts there. No shorts here. From there to there. Yeah. Fine. Absolutely fine. Now I need to work out how to protect it. I think to insulate it, I've got some Kapton tape. It's 2mm thick, this is. That should be small enough to protect it without getting in the way. That looks about right. I'll just wrap that around. At least I'll try. We'll see how that works. Now to fix this pivot, I'm going to put some 24 gauge wire through. It's a nice snug fit. And to the other side, I'm thinking I can just bend this over. Not too much of it though. I'll bend that at right angles. Then what I can do is solder that on. Well, hopefully it'll solder on without destroying that tape. Although Kapton tape's good heat insulator, so it should hold on to it. Looks right to me. Although, is that low profile enough? I think I've ruined the low profile of this potentiometer. I'm going to file this down a bit, which will be difficult and time consuming. So in theory I just bend this straight. Bend this straight. You know what I mean. Okay, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of contact lube on here. I don't need to sort of run under the tape. So just put that over there. Hopefully it finds its location. Yes. Just bend this over. Something like that. Yeah, I think the bent over metal thing is going to work. Well, I'll put our repaired pot back on the board. Just like that. Just solder this pin in to start with. Just push that up from behind. There we go. Better. Going all over the place. So it feels okay. Let's try it. Hook the power back up. Signal in there. or signal out of there. Keypad on, roughly the right place. Moment of truth. Well, the clock's working, that's obvious. Well, we got something. It's a load of junk on the screen. Where's my test tone? There we are. I think I fixed it. Foreign pop works lovely, look at that. Well, this is ready to go back together. I'm getting the clips off it. Let's try and get this back in here. There we go. Align the battery clips there. Yeah, they're in there. Good. Reassuring clicks. That's what I like. Buttons back on. Well, that's working great. Very smooth action on that pot. The reception could be better, but to be honest, it's a very small radio. It's as if you need to be holding it to get a good signal. Well, it's a good job it fits in your pocket, isn't it? If you're in the market for a new video microscope, these are definitely worth looking at. Check out the link in the video to Andonstar's webshop. Catch you next time. Here's a little peek of what it does with the other lenses on. This is apparently a bee's wing. Look at that. Or you can use it to peek inside a chip. Whatever you want.